Yeah.
Make these niggas rap again. I'm walking niggas down with that 4 pound when they go down. That Pakistan chopper knock his forehead to the low ground. Deadly when I'm birth, blood spreading through the turf. But it's a lot of niggas dead without fucking up that work. Fucking over niggas' money, playing crazy like you can't be touched. Mobile gas station, drop the window when I fuck him up. Bossing up, monopolizing off that flow money. Fucking record dealer.
What up, though? OG Kenny. O_G_Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Welcome to my second installment of Let's Not Forget Fridays on Retired from the Streets TV. If you failed to done so far, please take time out to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share the content at will, freely as you want to. Get in the comment section and never ever forget to like the comment if you find something valuable, interesting, or entertaining in it. So, let's go back. 1994. I'm telling my age, but I don't care because I'm OG. Right? So, but 94, I graduated from high school. I graduated from high school at, let me see, 2 or so months after I moved into the house, or we moved into the house as a family that I'm recording from right now, right? There was a lot going on that year. You got to think, this was the same year that one of the most high-profile child murder cases in U.S. history took place. Susan Smith, right? What was due on Mystical Boot Camp Click. Fuck pulling out guns, I'm gonna start drowning niggas like Susan Smith because you was a bitch. You remember that? He was like, I'm gonna start. That was like popular because a lot of people start referencing Susan Smith in their lyrics and in popular culture. And if you're not familiar with the Susan Smith story, Susan Smith lied to authorities saying that her kids had came up missing. And I want to say she said a black man did it. When in all actuality, Susan Smith had drowned her kids herself, right? So the same year in Detroit, Michigan, actually on December the 11th, which is 2 days after my sister's birthday, she is Sagittarius. Shout out to my sister, Charlie. Dwan Sims, he's at a mall. He's at Wonderland Mall in Livonia. He comes up missing. Everybody in Detroit, anybody or in the surrounding area, remember this story. 4 years old. He comes up missing, according to his mother, at Wonderland Mall. And they were walking, according to her, between the corridor that separated the Target store from the main mall area at 2:30 p.m. And Dwan, he vanished. He comes up missing, right? So, authorities get statements from her mother, of course, from his mother, of course, right? And it's not adding up. It just don't make sense. You say that at Dwan Harris at the time, and later she became Dwan Wiggins. I believe she got married or whatever. She moved out of Michigan. So she said that they were walking at around 2:30. He come up missing out of nowhere, according to reports and CCTV, right? They never saw Dwan at the mall that day. Not once. He didn't pop up on the cameras, or he wasn't seen by any eyewitnesses at all that day. Now, what witnesses are saying that is that at around 3:30, an hour after Dwan Harris reported that Dwan Sims had came up missing in the mall when they were walking, they said that she arrived at the mall. No Dwan Sims, though. But she got there by herself. That's a 4-year-old baby. And my thing is, my daughter 10 years old. When we out and about, I don't let her walk nowhere. Walmart. Listen, she loved Walmart, Target, all these stores the mall, festivals, carnival. They love to exert their independence at a young age and show you, hey, mama, I know how to get back to you or if Pops, I know how to get back to you if I venture off. Ain't nowhere in the world still at 10 years old, and usually I got my daughter, her little sister, and probably 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of my nieces. Ain't no way in the world I'm letting any of them out of my sight. But the one I hear say that her son comes up missing. Ain't nobody buying it. She ends up subsequently taking 2 polygraph tests. 2 of them. And failed both of them. And if y'all know anything about polygraph tests, those things are accurate. They got a conviction rate or an accuracy rate the same way the feds got a conviction rate. They're in a 90+ percentile, right? The crazy part about this is that years later, an individual claimed that, I think it was like in 2018 or 19 or something like that, you had an individual who said he believed he was Dwan Sims. He said based on everything they saying and his family's account of how he got to their family and what he knows about his history, he believed he was Dwan Sims. So investigators said, we're going to pursue this case because it's still open. It's an ongoing investigation. It's a case that hasn't been closed to this day. So he said, we're going to pursue this matter. So they did so. They went out and they got DNA evidence and everything else. But to no avail. It wasn't Dwan Sims, you know. And this is decades and decades later. You know, I remember that story because you got to think at the time, I was 18 years old. And all I remember, like, wow, my little sister was around the same age. My sister Charlie, I'm talking about, whose birthday was a few days after that. I remember we had just celebrated her birthday 2 days before that young man came up missing. And they were around the same age. And I just remember, like, man, I couldn't fathom the thought of my little sister coming up missing. And I used to watch my sister a lot back then. I used to keep her with me. When I was out and about, my arms needed a break, or even she did need a break. I just said, okay, you know what? Let me grab her, get her car seat. I'm throwing a whip, and we out. You know, giving my arms a break and whatnot. But I remember thinking, like, damn, that's a little boy, man. And his mom didn't seem very, very upset. I remember thinking that much for sure. The irony of the legacy, rather, of Dawana Harris, who later became Dawana Wiggins, was that she died in 2020, never either revealing to the world or finding out actually what happened to her son. Either way, she didn't know and she just was really sincere about that, or she had something to do with it and there was foul play involved and she never told the world what happened to her son or where he could be found. But the irony was that she died, not just died in 2020, but she died right in North Carolina, opposite the state that Susan Smith from South Carolina was from.
The mother of Dwan Sims, the 4-year-old boy who disappeared from Wonderland Mall in Livonia, has died without ever finding out what happened to her son. This is a story we have been following for nearly 26 years to the day.
After years of tips, clues, and dead ends, Dawana Wiggins moved to North Carolina, where she passed earlier this week. Larry Spruill joins us live. And Larry, do we know what caused her death?
Well, Kimberly and Devin, I talked to Livonia police, and a spokesperson tells me that they got information she died from a heart attack. Now, years later, many people are still wondering what happened to little Dwan Sims. I asked police, since his mother is now dead, is this the end for this case?
We actually got the call this morning that Mrs. Sims had passed away.
Captain Ron Tegg with Livonia Police says he's had numerous conversations with Dawana Wiggins, the mother of little Dwan Sims, over the years. It's the case he will never forget and still hoping they will solve. But Tegg tells me the death of Dawana will make things more difficult to do that. Is the case over with now, or?
Absolutely not. We have detectives and a cold case unit that are continuing to look at the case, see if there's anything that was missed.
And the search for a missing 4-year-old boy.
Everything happened back in 1994 here at Wonderland Mall in Livonia when Dawana Wiggins told police her son disappeared while they were shopping. Tech says they looked over every piece of video from the mall that day and they saw Dawana on the security videos at the mall, but what about little Dwan?
He was never in any of those videos.
Since then, Dwana moved to North Carolina and denied she had any involvement with her son's disappearance. Earlier this year, a man claimed on social media that he was Dwan Sims. Police even performed a DNA test on him.
The latest is we're still waiting on the results.
So as of now, Tex says they're back at the beginning. I asked him if he believed little Dwan was still alive.
Obviously, over this time frame, it's very discouraging for us that we haven't received any other tips or any other information.
And police are still asking anyone with any new information about this case to call Livonia Police. We're live tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Okay, Larry, thanks.
The woman I told you who drowned her kids. And it reminds me just period about how Detroit has not just Detroit, but the world has so many hidden legacies and stories, right? So many stories that have not been either covered ever, or it's just been so much time has passed since that story initially came out. So you know how media works, the initial sensation, the initial shock, the initial in-your-face part of it has died down. So therefore, no one's talking about it. Ain't nobody talking about COVID hardly no more. You feel me? So just imagine, like, it's like they sweep stories under the rug. They forget about them. And I remember that, young brother. So I started Let's Not Forget Fridays, wrapped around the concept of we need to bring light to some of these unsolved mysteries. And it initially started because my father's murder is still an unsolved mystery. The streets know. Trust me, the streets know. But we don't, as far as the authorities, and there's nothing on record. So all them stories, there's no answer on record. There's no rectification on the justice side of it or whatnot. I'm going to be covering a lot of those stories starting right now today, right? Or last week, rather, with Miami. But starting today, I'm going to focus more on Michigan. But I'm going to venture off into other states, though, because last week we covered the Miami zombie who ate the dude's face, Ronald Popple. What's his name? Eugene? Whatever. But, like, you got to think, man, there's so many stories. I'm going to be touching a lot of them. I appreciate all of the support. Y'all don't understand, man. Listen. Like I said, if y'all have not subscribed, subscribe, right? Hop in and subscribe. Get in that section, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Share the content. And really, really, if you want to, I don't care what y'all got to say, man. Get in that comment section. Because I appreciate the interaction, the engagement, the continued support. I'm like 40, 50 people from 1,000 subscribers. That's crazy because when I started this journey at the end of February, you got to think. I was a couple of weeks off of February the 14th. I just got a surgery. I was coming to the realization that my love life was in shambles and all type of stuff, right? So I end up saying, what better time than while I'm healing and going through an emotional healing as well than to start this process. And I had like 10 subscribers and I was supercharged. 10 subscribers. I had like 20 views on my first video, and the second one I had like 8 views, and I was charged because I said, you know what? It's going to get better. And thank God, through the grace of God and the universe opening up and our cosmic creator, the channel has been expanding and blowing. And I'm also back in tune with my herbalage and getting my root chakras lined up and really fulfilling my purpose, man. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'm pretty sure Dwan Sims is deceased. I hate to say it, but it's been so long, man. But either way, shout out to Dwan Sims. I pray that if you're not deceased, brother, you're out there safe and you're living, you're prosperous, and your past is a long way, from you. And if you're deceased, then I pray that your soul has found peace, and that Allah is pleased with you. And I thank y'all for tuning in again, man. OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny at Retired From the Streets TV. I love y'all, man. And y'all don't forget people that y'all heard about. If y'all got some stories y'all want me to cover that's long gone, that's not been touched in a long time, or that somebody's never heard of, and it's been rectified in the courts, or people have been they dead or something, because I ain't trying to get nobody indicted. I ain't trying to get nobody locked up. That's not my job. I'm not no investigative reporter, and I'm not no damn I'm doing a police job. But by all means, you want to share them stories, get in the comment section or hit me up on IG at O_G_Kenny or at Retired from the Streets TV. And I love y'all, man. I'm out. You know what I mean? One more time, Friday.
Ha.